The look on Antony's face as he came off the bench for Manchester United, that's what you call an infinite aura. Like seriously, the confidence, the swagger, it's on another level. And don't even get me started on that Antony spin. You know the one I'm talking about. The dude makes your head spin while just standing still on the pitch. Antony's been at United for almost 2 years now, and let's be real, no one's got people talking quite like him. You'd think it'd be someone else like Bruno or Garnacho, right? Nah, man, this guy's got the hype, the headlines, and the attention. In fact, you know what aura is? It's when your presence is so strong, people can't stop talking about you. Even Ronaldo's second stint at United didn't get this much buzz, which is saying a lot because, well, it's Ronaldo. But here's the thing, when it comes to Manchester United right now, the name on everyone's lips isn't Bruno, Rashford, or even the new signing like Delete we were all hyped about for a minute. Nope. Manchester is Antony dos Santos. The aura? Unmatched. Now, let's talk about that celebration. You know the one. Manchester United had just clinched their spot in the FA Cup final after a tense penalty shootout against Coventry City. Coventry, a lower-tier team, had been dreaming of making history, but United shut the door on that. And what does Antony do? He runs right in front of the Coventry players with his hand cupped to his ear, basically saying, "Can you hear me now?" Not exactly the most humble move, right? Coventry had been on the verge of becoming the first lower-tier team to reach the FA Cup final since 2008. So that celebration hit hard. Antony, though, wasn't about to let it slide without an explanation. He hopped on social media and said Coventry proved why they reached the semi-final. "We sought this spot in the final for our fans, and we achieved. The way our fans were treated by their player was not nice, and I, in the heat of the moment, reacted to the provocations in a natural defense of my club." Now, if you thought Antony's year-cupping celebration was bold, wait till you hear about the time he celebrated a single goal 7 different ways. Yeah, you heard that right. 7 times for 1 goal. Most players score, do a quick fist bump, maybe a knee slide, and call it a day. But Antony? Nah, this guy's had a whole routine ready. The guy is never too far from the drama, whether it's his celebrations, his on-pitch behavior, or even how he handles his social media presence. I mean, let's not forget, Antony's got his own personal photographer following him around to capture all his glory moments. It's like his Instagram is more important than the match itself sometimes. And look, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of self-promotion, but when people start wondering if you're more interested in playing for the camera than for the team, that's a red flag. Then there's his knack for getting away with things on the field. You ever notice how Antony seems to escape punishment? How has this guy not seen red yet? Seriously, he's managed to dodge cards for stuff that would have had most players sent off by now. It's like he's got some kind of football invincibility cheat code activated. So yeah, love him or hate him, Antony's aura is unmatched. But at what cost? If Antony has 1 billion fans, I'm one of them. If Antony has only 1 fan, it's me. If Antony has no fans, it means I'm dead. And if you don't already have an opinion on Antony, this part of his story might just make you fall in love with the guy. Sure, he's got flair, he's got controversy, but beneath all that, there's a story of pure grit and determination. Antony's journey started when he joined the academy of São Paulo FC at just 14. And let me tell you, São Paulo is no small club. We're talking about a football factory that's produced absolute legends. Cafu, Kaká, and even his Manchester United teammate Casemiro. But Antony's time there? Far from a walk in the park. This kid was showing up to training on an empty stomach because he couldn't afford to eat. Imagine that, trying to make it in one of the toughest football academies in Brazil while your stomach's growling louder than the coach's whistle. He grew up in the heart of a favela called Little Hell in Osasco, São Paulo. And trust me, the name Little Hell wasn't just for show. Antony had nothing, couldn't even afford football boots. He once said, "I was just a humble boy from the favela. I didn't have shoes to play football. I didn't have a bedroom. I lived in the center of the favela and there were drug dealers 20 meters from me. While I was watching the matches, the smell of cannabis entered the house." Think about that for a second. While most kids were kicking a ball around without a care in the world, Antony was out there dodging more than just tackles. His family, huge and dirt poor. He lived in a house where flooding was a regular thing. Whenever it rained, the house would flood, and Antony and his family would be up in the middle of the night, bailing water out, wondering what the future had in store for them. There were moments when we were hugging, crying, thinking about our lives. What awaits us in the future if this continues? Antony said, reflecting on those tough nights. But through all of that, the poverty, the floods, the constant struggle, Antony never gave up. He kept his head down, kept working, and now look at him, playing for Manchester United, one of the biggest clubs in the world. Now that's the kind of dedication this guy inspires in some people. Antony dos Santos is the player who, love him or hate him, you just can't stop talking about. Signed for a jaw-dropping 95 million euros from Ajax, the expectations were sky high. He was supposed to be the game changer, the new star lighting up Old Trafford, right? Well, hold up a second, because here's the wild part. Manchester United's own recruitment team had originally slapped a price tag of just £25 million on Antony back when he was tearing it up in the Netherlands. Can you imagine that? Even crazier, they reportedly thought Antony Elanga, a solid winger, no doubt, was actually more productive than our guy Antony. But here we are, with Antony carrying this massive price tag and an even bigger weight of expectation. Now fast forward to that Bayern Munich game. You know the one. United's European hopes on the line. It was basically do or die. Unfortunately, it turned out to be more of the latter. And of course, Antony was smack in the middle of the storm. Every fan had their eyes on him. This was his moment to show the world why United paid the big bucks. But let's just say things didn't go exactly as planned. Antony going head-to-head with Alphonso Davies, one of the fastest, sharpest defenders in the game. At one point, Antony threw in a couple of step-overs. Classic Antony move, right? Then he tries to hit Davies with some fancy footwork. But instead of leaving him in the dust, he ends up handling the ball out for a throw-in. And United fans? Oh man, they were livid. One guy went as far as saying, "I've never disliked a footballer so much in my life."
I can't believe Antony. That just sums up how embarrassing we actually are.
And if that wasn't enough, another fan even questioned if Antony was actually Brazilian. So what is Antony's spin? And why does he do it? Antony collects the ball, he's got some space, and with his left foot glued to the ball, he spins. And I'm not talking a quick little twirl. This man is doing a full 720-degree spin, just rotating on the spot like he's a human fidget spinner. Now Antony himself, he calls it art. He's got that Brazilian flair in his blood. And you know how it is in Brazil. Football isn't just about winning. It's about expressing yourself on the pitch. Antony learned his trade in that environment, where players like Neymar made the skill moves part of their brand. It's not just about beating the defender. It's about doing it in style, with some personality. And Antony's not alone in this mindset. Neymar, who's one of the kings of flair, has openly backed him, saying it's just part of their game. Even Man United's own Fred stepped in to defend his teammate. He explained that it's a Brazilian thing. They've got quality, flair, and they like to show it. You can say a lot about Antony, but there's no denying one thing. The guy has presence. That main character energy? Yeah, he's got it in spades. Remember that moment on the touchline against Arsenal? As the coach was bringing him on, Antony was already making that face, like he was ready for the headlines. It's as if he could already see the social media clips with fans calling him cold before he even stepped on the pitch. And honestly, that's just the kind of aura he has. Then there's the time he lifted his shirt to reveal a message before the game even started. It's like he knew he wouldn't score, but still wanted to make sure he got his message out there. Who else does that? This is where the main character vibe kicks in. And don't forget about when he gestured to the Galatasaray fans. Dude wanted to be in the top 10 respect moments video so badly. Sure, his confidence can rub people the wrong way sometimes, like the time at Old Trafford against Arsenal, when Ten Hag asked him to drop back to left back to help out in the final minutes. Instead of just getting on with it, Antony looked like he felt too important to be defending. It's the kind of thing that can make people question his commitment, but here's the thing, Antony believes he's destined for the spotlight. He's got that superstar mentality, and he carries himself like every moment is his to own. He knows he's not just another player, he's the guy people came to see. And then there's the off-the-pitch drama. The accusations of domestic violence in 2023 definitely hit hard, so hard that Brazil dropped him from the national team for World Cup qualifiers, and United had to give him some time away from the squad. It's a heavy situation, and while nothing's been proven, being caught up in something like that doesn't help when you're already a polarizing figure. But let's be real, Antony's aura isn't going anywhere. He's got this swagger that makes you pay attention, whether you love him or you can't stand him. And that's exactly what makes him so unique. So what do you think? Is Antony living up to that €100 million price tag with his big aura? Or is it all just a lot of flash without the substance? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Give this video a like and make sure to hit that subscribe button. Catch you guys in the next one.